Hey guys, welcome back. Once again, Donald Trump, it looks like he wants to put everyone into debt for another 15 years for an auto loan. So let's talk about it. Now, in a previous video, I talked about how Donald Trump wants to increase the 30-year fixed mortgage up to a 50-year mortgage. And I think that is a crazy, horrible idea, okay? We do not want to be slaves to the banks any more so than we already are today. And now he's talking about doing a 15-year auto loan. That is just ridiculous and horrible. And who does it benefit? It just benefits the auto companies, okay? They're going to have more margin to work with. They're going to increase their prices, okay, to support a 15-year auto loan. The more debt we pile on into the system, the higher the prices are going to go. Just like your college education, the more education loans that we issue out there, the higher the education costs go up. The same thing for the mortgages is going to happen. The prices of housing are going to go up. And the same thing for auto loans. We can just take inflation and double it and double it and double it. That's what's going to happen with these auto loans going to 15 years if we allow that. I don't know what the rules are as far as what the banks allow for an auto loan, but this is an even worse idea than the 50-year mortgage because it's a depreciating asset, okay? At least with a mortgage, it's an asset that does increase in valuation over time. But for an auto loan, the minute you drive it off the lot, you're losing thousands and thousands of dollars. And you're telling me that we should have bankers put a 15-year auto loan on a depreciating asset? There's going to be so much upfront interest cost to be able to do that in the first place because that risk of that depreciating asset is so high. I don't even know how they would do this as far as amortization. It's just going to be a nightmare. You're going to be paying 100% interest for probably a while. Who knows how that loan would actually work out? They may charge you 100% interest, so it's always paying interest until maybe on year like 8 or something like that, to where it starts paying off the principal, because that bank is going to want to pay for that vehicle in the first 6 to 8 years, because after 8 years, that vehicle's worth zero, guys, zero. So you will now own a vehicle that's worth $0, and what's left on your loan is the full price of the car. That's what'll happen. It's an asinine idea. I do not think we should do that for auto loans. Again, Donald Trump just is not a good idea, man, okay? He wants to tweet something out there and hope it sticks, and it probably will. I guarantee you they'll change the policy to support this. And what will it do? It'll destroy people's livelihoods. It really will. Even an auto loan for 15 years. If people apply for that and actually take out an auto loan for a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 SUV, people will go to town and go think they're a baller and go buy an SUV like that, and they'll be broke before you know it. They will foreclose on that vehicle, or whatever it's called, get repossessed on that vehicle left and right, because eventually over 15 years, people lose their jobs. That's what happens, guys. And the same thing for the 50-year mortgage. We have ageism when it comes to these, large-scale 50-year mortgages. After 25, 30 years of working, you have ageism. People stop hiring people to have a full-time income. It's harder and harder to work as you get older, 50, 55, 60. And if we tack on a 15-year auto loan, it's going to affect people in their mid-30s, 40s. Let's say you take out an auto loan at 40 years old. You got a growing family. You decide you want to get an SUV for $60,000, $70,000, $100,000, because that's where they are today. If we do a 15-year auto loan, those cars will be $150,000, right? That's what will happen. And so let's say you decide to do that. In 15 years, you'll be 55 years old with that SUV car payment, and you probably won't own the SUV. Either it'll get crashed out, or you'll have maintenance problems, and you'll still owe almost the full price on the SUV after about 8 years, because the banks are going to not give you any principal on this loan the first 8 years. So these are the things you got to consider when you're talking about 7, 8, 10, 15-year auto loans. It's just a stupid risk. I can't believe we are even contemplating it. But this is where we're at, you know. We can't have any incentives or any ideas to actually, you know, make affordability for auto loans. There's got to be some other solution out there. I don't have any ideas for the auto loan industry. I think that it really comes down to having good stewards of companies to actually lower the prices of cars. And I think we need to go back to driving cars and not SUVs. That's the one thing I really like about Tesla. They're pushing cars. They're the only American manufacturer that sells sedans, the Model 3 and the Model Y. And they came out with a cheaper Model Y. I think that's a beautiful thing. At least it's under $40,000. That's what Donald Trump needs to do. He needs to push on the manufacturers to say, guys, stop shipping SUVs and trucks. That's all they want to sell because that's the biggest margin and profit margin that these big companies can have. I don't like that, to be honest. That's why I like Tesla. They're all about efficiency and performance and high quality for their vehicles. And they're given pretty good pricing, even for an EV, for most of us out there, under 40K. That's where we need to be at. We need to be under 40K for most vehicles. Now, I know their higher trims aren't under 40K, but we got to go back to sedans if we want to have affordability back in this country. A 15-year auto loan, it's just a disaster waiting to happen. We're going to have repossessions left and right. The repo man, they are like getting ready for this 15-year auto loan because they know tons of people are going to get repoed for that type of product. So, you know, I don't know. I just think it's a horrible idea. And the banks, I mean, again, like I said, they're not going to take the risk. They're going to upfront as much interest on that loan, and you're going to be paying for nothing. You're not going to own a thing. You're going to be renting out that vehicle. You might as well get a lease. You know, leasing a vehicle would probably be better than buying one out, you know, for a 15-year auto loan, because at the end of the day, you're really leasing it from the bank. So anyways, you guys let me know what you think about the 15-year auto loan. I think it's a horrible idea, but you guys let me know in the comments below if you believe in it. And if you guys could, like and subscribe to the channel. Take a look at my previous video, and good luck out there. Later.